Hey, spooky fans, it's that time again. Welcome back to Unholy Encounters with me, your host, Samara Hex Di'Angelo. Today, we have a devilishly talented Guess Who designs have taken Orlando by storm. From the city's mainstay drag fashion designer, and I messed up. See, this is why I'm bad at words. You know what I'm trying to say. To an all-around creative extraordinaire, let's give a warm welcome to my friend, my personal icon, Roxanne Cox.
Hey gosh, hi. Wow, it's
How
so
are you,
nice to be
Diva?
here. I'm doing great. Oh my gosh, I worked all day and then I came here and got in drags, so I'm doing great. How are
It's a,
you?
I've been doing interview back to interview to finish us to finish.
Um,
So really, you, and then I think it's Madness coming up. Besides that one, yeah, you and Ferocia are the last ones for season one. Then I start season two in summer.
oh, season one diva. Oh,
Yes.
oh, wrong side.
I had to get
Oh.
you before I finished, and I'm glad I did. But tell me about this outfit you're wearing.
Okay, so this is actually just a little scoochy sequin dress that I made very last minute. It's just something I have in my closet that I just threw on, just a little dress to go to the grocery store. But no, yeah, it's nothing crazy.
And it looks phenomenal.
Thank you.
You're
Well,
always designing something, and I'm just like, I need you to design for Samara one outfit. I'm gonna ask you one of these days.
well, be thankful you can't see from the waist down because I am in sweatpants,
Yes.
living comfortably.
Hey, being like
Um,
RuPaul, let me know.
Mama, for real. I was afraid you were gonna ask me to stand up, so I had this prepared for you.
Yeah. Well, speaking of fantasy, let's talk about you've been turning looks for drag artists all over Orlando. It might not just be Orlando, it might be Florida in general. It might be out of state. But what's it like to see your designs come to life on stage?
It's really awesome. The scariest part is designing it, and then seeing that image come to life. Because you never really know if what you draw can translate onto a person. So
Yeah.
being able to see that on stage is really awesome. A piece of you is on stage with that performer, and I think it's
Hmm.
it's just so magical, and that's why I love designing. As stressful as it is sometimes, but
Giving that Cox Couture vibe, Essie.
yes, no, but I love getting to sew for my sisters. For I know I've sewn for a lot of people. I've sewn for contestants for National Comedy Queen.
Hmm.
I've sewn for people across the United States, not just in Florida. Of course, all my Florida sisters as well.
Yes.
But it's really awesome to see it kind of grow and see people who want to buy outfits from me, which I think is crazy.
I think one outfit that I really love that you did was do you remember Addie's superhero look? With the
Yes, mama.
poppers. That's one of my favorites.
Yes, that look. Oh my gosh, we kind of had to do that last minute.
Hmm.
Both the looks for that night, which was the trans flag dress
Yeah.
and the popper superhero look, and so those kind of came together in a weekend, and it was so amazing. Addie is probably one of my closest sisters here in Orlando,
Hmm.
and to realize her dream for her was just so amazing. And I believe she was in the top that night, so it was really awesome to
Yes.
have her moment and look so beautiful and be a slutty pig that I know she is.
That's how you know
So
Addie Love is right there.
she is, she is.
You never know where one performance without dildo or a popper. Let's say that.
And I don't know where she's pulling all the dildos from. Can we be real? Where is she hiding? Where, Mama? Where?
We never know.
Her secret compartment.
Yes. So, do you ever find yourself gagging when you see a queen rocking one of your creations or when you finish a new design that you know is the one?
Absolutely. I think, like I said, it's a gamble every time. I can draw it and I can sew it, but until it's on the person, that's when
Mhm.
you fully see the fantasy. And my
So
favorite
that's
part,
the full fantasy come to life.
tea. And my favorite part is the fitting, the first fitting. Finally seeing
Hmm.
it on them and seeing the vision start to come to life.
Yeah.
That is probably the most rewarding as a designer. I mean, of course, seeing it on stage and all the photos after. So yeah.
And then tagging you, and they'd be like, "Where did you get this outfit from again?"
Right. Mama, give me the coin.
Yes. So there's so much to talk about, but first it's time for my favorite segment, Inferno Revelations.
Oh,
Buckle up, Roxanne, because I have some burning questions for you.
ooh, something else is burning too.
So first we have to talk about your business, Cox Couture. You built your own design empire. What does it feel to run a successful business in a city like Orlando?
Girl, it's tough. There are a lot of people who sew sickening outfits, and
Hmm.
I do think I occupy kind of a niche for maybe campier queens who love sequin, me included.
Yes.
And it's like I said, it's so crazy because I never really thought that I would be doing this kind of thing.
Hmm.
And to get people to like slide into my DMs and ask me for an outfit, it's just wild. To know that I have that reach, and that people
Yeah.
are seeing my art. But no, it's tough. Let me tell you, you can't procrastinate. I am a self-admitted procrastinator, mama. And so, but no, running a business, it's awesome. Like I said, never thought I'd do it, and for it to be fashion and drag, it's just so.
Yeah. It comes together because you have to get your costume, you have to get your wig, you have to do your makeup. It's the whole drag fantasy.
Mama, tea.
So how did Cox Couture come to be and what drives your creative process?
It started out as me just showing up to gigs, and I wasn't even booked back then.
Hmm.
I was just showing up to shows in full high horse sequin drag, and people started asking me like, "Hey, are you sewing for people? Are you doing this? You're doing that?" And I had some close friends. I believe my first ever commission was for Beatrix Oddity. And
Really?
yes, and she kind of slid in my DMs before I was advertising that I was, making outfits for people.
Hmm.
And so it just kind of started like that. Friends and queens from bars coming up to me and asking me, "Hey, could you make me something?" And
Yes.
then after a few, I was like, you know what, maybe I should make a page
Hmm.
and start, maybe more broadly advertising this to people.
Hmm.
And it became something. It became larger than I thought it would be. So
And I bet you're making that coin right there.
honey, I can't reveal, but
Yes.
there are some exciting things coming from Miss Cox.
Yes.
And oh well, I know we're going to get to it later, but some of the designs I did for myself for Orlando Drag Race Live
Mhm.
have, since posting them, have garnered a lot of attention, and certain people I did not expect to reach out to me have for outfits. So it's just really exciting. I can't say too much. I signed an NDA. But there are, there's really cool things coming. So stay tuned.
Well, we're gonna get into a lot of our ODRL because I have a lot of burning questions for that one too.
Oh,
Now,
I'm
on to the tea that everyone's buzzing about. You're part of the latest season of Orlando Drag Race Live.
yes, honey. Ooh, I am
So, what was it like getting the call?
front runner, mama. Caught the tea. Oh, but yes, sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. What was it like getting the call for you?
Honestly, and I don't mean this in a cunty way, it was kind of a long time coming. I had been a part of Orlando Drag Race Live for now the past 3 seasons.
Hmm.
I was a dresser and seamstress for Emerald Titties on season 8. I, of course, sewed stuff for Miss Addie Love for All Stars versus Rookies, and the tea is I was actually cast on that season. I don't know if y'all remember. It was for a short period of time, but I had a work conflict, so I had to end up not doing that. And so then, I always knew I was going to do it. And it was just a matter of time for when the stars aligned. And, I'm
Yeah.
so glad that it happened now. I feel more ready now than I in the past 2 years. I finally found, I think, my niche, what I
Mhm.
do as a performer, who I am. And it's just so exciting to get to show that to a broader audience. I live kind of far away from Orlando, and I don't
Yeah.
have very many opportunities to go and perform. So getting that, semi-weekly booking, which is really what it is, to get to show my craft is it's just awesome.
And it's good because right now Roxanne is looking at the front runner with I'm you know what? I'm gonna plug this since I just announced it today. One of her friends, Madness, actually is looking at as a front runner too.
She is. Come on, Camp Queens. Oh, but
And if
was
you
it
guys
camp
want
or
to
was
check
it
that
horror?
I will tell you that interview was so fucking chaotic.
You know what,
Get ready when you see it this Sunday. You'll see what I had to like do.
Mama? No, she because we were on the phone before and after the interview, and she told me a little bit about it. But that's madness. You do not
Yes.
know what to expect
I
from
didn't know what
her.
I told her I didn't know what to expect, and she told me, she's like, "Are you ready for this interview? Because I'm telling you now." And I'm because you remember when I was talking to you guys about it, like I think it was this was before month before Orlando Drag Race started. We were talking
Yeah,
about the like Unholy Encounters stuff.
yeah, it's Savoy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I got like two people from the ODRL cast. I'm waiting for the others to respond. And that's
Bitch,
what it
get them
is.
together.
Yeah.
Get them together. They need to come, honey. Hold on, I
Hey,
need
I
to.
will tell you, of course, you know I got Annie. You know that's my wig designer right there.
Mama, I need to get some wigs from her
Yes.
for sure.
She designs every Samara creation you see on my head.
See, I just don't know if she has the time. Mama, she's booked everywhere. Every fucking day.
So you want to know the funny thing before we move to the last question of Inferno Revelations, talking about Annie. The thing is, what I have to do. So I text her about the wig. That literally once I have the idea, then that takes her 2 weeks to fucking respond to me. I love her, but then I have to be like, whenever I see her in person, then I have to be like, hey, I texted you. I'm wondering if you can still do this one for me, like you said. And she's like, oh, you did text me. And then she texted me the following night.
Well, you can't blame her. She's booked and blessed. I don't know. Boots is still happening, right? Is that
Yeah, Boost
over?
is still going on, I believe, because I think, yeah, Sansar is supposed to come actually next week.
Oh, period. Come on, Sam Star, top four Sam Star.
And then the gig just finished, which she just had too. So now she has ODRL, and she's gonna say
Girl,
booked and blessed. I don't know how she does it all.
it's too much, too much. I love it though. I mean, she's really getting her flowers as she deserves. She's so talented, an amazing performer, an amazing person, an amazing artist. So I'm so happy that she is getting the recognition because
Yes.
she deserves that.
That's the thing about before I move to the next question. That's the thing about this cast. You guys are so fucking fierce. It's hard to like even the horrible was so fucking hard for me to be like, okay, this is who I think should get in top. And I think judges are probably like they have to pick up the niche fucking things.
Girl. Well, I'm gonna give you some tea. So I don't know if you saw in the when they did critiques, but I was shitting bricks. I was so scared. No tea. I thought I was gonna be in the bottom. Because listen, horror is not something that I do. And I wanted to branch out and try something new. And it was very out of my comfort zone. And, I get in my head a lot. I personally, I love my head. I think it's a little good. I really was like, oh my God, like I was so worried that it wasn't going to turn out. And then, mama, it ended up turning out. So, I was really proud of myself for stepping outside of my comfort zone and doing something outside the box. Um,
And I will say you did phenomenal, and I am, with your permission, if you want to send it to me, I am going to put a video in later when we're talking about ODRL.
okay.
That's why I didn't send you those looks this time.
Oh no, it's fine. Yeah, go ahead, do it.
But let's finish our Inferno Revelations. How does it feel to compete in such a high stakes drag competition alongside, like we said before, all of these fierce drag artists in Florida?
Girl, it's a lot, and unlike Drag Race, we have time in between the episodes to prepare, and I think that's what's the big factor in my success. Surely is preparation, making sure that the looks are together that you've practiced, and good preparation produces a good performance.
Yeah.
So if you are prepared, there's no reason to be worried, you know.
Mhm.
And I get very nervous before every performance, no matter how prepared I am. But I once had a teacher in college give me the advice that you can channel your nerves for performing into excitement for showing the audience what you worked so hard.
Yes.
So that's what I try to do each time I get on that stage is, put myself up. You worked hard on this, you rehearsed this over and over and over. You got it. Go out and just have your best showing. So preparation, that's the biggest thing. Um, but yeah, it's a little stressful, especially backstage when you got all these crazy bitches. As I'm sure you've seen from Untucked, Mama. It's crazy. It's wild. It is these
Yeah, we get
bitches.
into Untucked in this too, and I'm ready for it. I saw like I will say before we end off this section, I will say I had to take care of my drag sister after that last Untucked, and we know exactly what happened. Wink, wink.
Wait, are you talking about Kalia?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Kalia are drag sisters with like mystery. That's my drag sisters. So
Oh, period. I didn't know that.
yeah, they call me the youngest one, even though I've been doing drag longer than Kalia. But I'm like, I'll take it.
No,
I'm
period.
I'm I'm younger. It's fine.
Come
You
on.
guys can
It's
be the old
relative.
bitches over there.
Dude, why were you looking at me when you said old? That's what I want to know.
We've got so much more to unpack, but first, not only do I have one game, but I had three games for you tonight. You ready for the first one I like to call? You
Yes.
ready? It's called Cox Confessions, and here's how it works. I'm gonna ask you some pretty spicy questions, and I want you to answer honestly, no holding back. You ready?
I'm ready.
What's been your favorite moment on ODRL?
Oh, honestly, the Untucked. Honestly, it's so entertaining. And oh my gosh, the girls are bringing the drama. And I
Yeah.
also want to say, you know, I will say some of it is rooted in truth,
Hmm.
but we're playing it for the camera. And
Yes.
so the one thing I want to say to everyone is do not be sending hate because just like Drag Race, there are people out there sending hate to certain queens in our cast for making good, if you want to call it reality TV.
But good
And
TV at
so,
that point. That's what it
right. So
is.
we're trying to make a show and we're trying to, do our thing. So my favorite part has definitely been Untucked
Yes.
to chill after performing and be shady and listen to the girls fight.
See, I think and we're gonna talk about it a little later, but there's a twist that I think that's actually playing into that drama.
Mama, you don't have to tell me.
Who in the cast would you crown as the shadiest queen and why?
Honest,
I already know him. I already not think I know who it might be.
honestly, Thesis, and you know what? The thing with Thesis is she first of all, as you know, she's fucking hilarious. She is so funny, and I do think there's a difference between being a cunt and being shady.
Yeah.
And I think being shady, there's some humor to it, there's some truth to it. And my dear sister Thesis is a one shady cunt. But there are a lot, as you can see, there are a lot of shady girls. There's a lot of
Yes.
shady, but I love you, sister.
I don't know why, but we're gonna talk about it a little later. But there is three of you guys that are giving me very Heathers from like Drag Race season three. You, you
Me?
know exactly what I'm talking about. We'll
But
talk
well,
about that a little
okay,
later.
we'll get into it. I have my
Besides,
opinion on that.
besides yourself, who do you think will have the best looks of the season?
Honestly, this is gonna sound like a cop out, but Thesis, Mama, Thesis, listen, y'all. Thesis has resources, and she has good taste, and she's very smart. And she's my best friend, my closest sister, and so I've gotten to see some of the stuff she has planned. And Mama, she's giving me a run for my money. So, other than Thesis, also Annie. I mean, Annie has
Yes.
been turning it out. And there's only been two episodes, so it's really hard to,
And that's why I'm just like,
you know.
well, if I do this next year, I gotta surprise them with the Samara way.
Yes. But Thesis.
How do you feel about being labeled as the one to beat the season? Does it add pressure or motivation?
Oh, it definitely adds pressure. Oh my God, and especially with this twist that we're going to get into later,
Mhm.
your relationship with the queens matters. And I do feel like there's a target on my very petite back. But it's intimidating because, any slip up could land you in the bottom and potentially lip sync, So it's stressful, but I think so far I have been delivering.
Yes. You
So
definitely have.
I just need to keep that momentum and keep it going. But yeah, I mean, it's very flattering, obviously,
Mhm.
to be viewed as the one to beat. But yeah,
Well, you are the front runner so far. Well, one of them, besides this is madness.
Mama, your sister.
Yes. So every cast is unique. What's the oddest or most unexpected thing about this season's lineup?
Well, I mean, we'll talk about, the elephant in the room. I mean,
Mhm.
this is the first season ever of Orlando Drag Race Live where there is a drag king. So I think that is really awesome to show representation of not
Mhm.
just drag queens, but different kinds of drag performers. I also think that this cast is so diverse,
Yeah.
really, really diverse. A lot of different kinds of drag in this cast. And so it makes for a very interesting viewing experience as an audience member and really awesome as a contestant because not everybody's bringing the same thing every
Mhm.
week. Everybody has a different perspective and everybody's delivering on their perspective. So
That part.
I love it.
What I will say that I'm still mad at, like that we never got to see from ODRO, mentioning that we're on this question now, is that we never got to see a Kalia versus Cinch lip sync. That's what I'm
Well,
mad
never.
at.
Oh, well, hey, never say never. There might be twists and turns coming soon. So honestly, there's a few lip sync matchups I want to see. Now I kind of want to see Thesis versus E. I won't lie. I want to see those bitches battle it out. But of course, I don't want my good sisters to land in the bottom. But I had to see
Hey,
it.
we could also do a lip sync wall up for Ruiz. We don't know what Katana has planned.
I'm sure they're rooting for an Annie versus Roxanne lip sync, the Camp Queens head to head.
I want to see that. I really
Oh no,
do.
maybe the top two. Maybe that. We'll save that lip
Yes.
sync for the finale. Um, but no, I mean, who knows? Maybe we might get that Cinch versus Kalia lip sync.
Hey, if we have a lip sync wall up for Ruiz, I'll be happy about that.
Oh, that would be kind.
Yes. So, do you think your competitors are scared of you? Be honest. Are you intimidating?
Okay. So I know that I have an RBF. And I also know I am a huge woman. And I've been told by people that, I from afar I come off as intimidating. Which is I don't really think that's me.
Yeah.
I think when you talk to me, I'm like I come alive. But I would say there's some truth to that. I have an RBF, and
Mhm.
especially when I am competing, I am laser focused. I am zoomed in, I'm locked in, I'm ready to go. There's nobody who could tell me anything in that moment. And so, I came to win, honey. And that's what I plan to do.
I
Uh,
love how you and Annie usually during Untucked, you guys are just sitting back and watching. Yeah. Yeah.
literally, we're just kikiing the whole time, being like, will these bitches shut up? But yeah.
So let's talk photo shoot looks. Who earned the ultimate two and who deserved the boot?
From the promo,
Yes.
well, I mean, come on now. I don't know if this is gonna be cunty, but I think me. Which I ate that promo. Besides me, honestly, E's was kind
Mhm.
of the Daffy Duck moment was cute. I'm trying to think. It's been so long ago. Um, oh my God, who else was there?
We have Annie, of course. We have Stigma.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
bringing up who's in the cast, like that
There
didn't fit.
were there were a lot of
So
there were a lot of questionable promos. Let's just say that. There were a lot of interesting things going on in that promo, but oh my gosh, I loved Annie's look. the
I
ants
do love that,
off the
but
stone
like
ants on the dust.
it gave me that Alaska moment from like All Stars 2 reunion. I don't know
Yes,
if you remember that.
yes, I do. But no, I mean this is a cop out, but I think I ate.
Yeah, I do love that look that you did, especially that promo video that you came up with.
Oh, my are you talking about my Meet the Queens?
Yes.
Oh yes, thank you. I mean that was it took a lot of wine.
I had to like not only for these questions, but I had to keep rewatching it because it was funny as fuck. And I
Thank
love how you're just
you.
sitting back, just drinking wine, and you're like, "Yeah, that's me. I'm Roxanne."
Well, and you know, I think some of the girls I think missed the point for that video. The point is to show you. And the point
Yes.
is for the audience to get to know you, not maybe a
Hmm.
manufactured version of yourself. So it was just a kiki with me and my good sister Addie, and I had so much fun filming it and getting to edit it and all that good stuff. So I
And that's why I'm gonna be honest, like for your guys Meet the Queens, you and like Madness has stuck out the most for me. Because you guys,
that
like, I
was
kept rolling.
crazy. And I don't know if you were able to clock it, but the talking head was actually me. So we, you know, we kind of just we put the camera on, we started rolling, and you know, I love doing things with Thesis. We love to
Yes.
little skits and do stupid things, but no, her interview, her Meet the Queens killed me, and it literally.
Okay, so if someone you were close to went home first, who would get you the most emotional and why?
I mean, I think you know the answer to this already.
Hmm.
My sister, Thesis Madness. I mean, we're in this ride or die. She's kind of helped me prepare and give me a lot of great advice for my package, and vice versa. And so, you know, I'm always at her house like every week. I steal her food. I fart on her pillow. I
Well, that
will.
does answer my next question later.
But no, definitely Miss Madness. I love her to.
Yes.
So.
What Swoogie fans, you're gonna get to know the question like me and Roxanne are talking about.
Yes.
Now for the juicy one. Who is the trade of all Orlando drag artists in your opinion? It's not just talking about ODRO.
Oh, all of Orlando,
And
all
don't
of
cop
Orlando.
out it. Don't cop out and say Jordan because you know that's not what
All
everybody
well,
says.
Mama, that bitch is gone. She's gone. I don't know what happened to her. Where'd she go? Honestly, oh my god, I'm trying to think. I haven't seen a lot of girls out of drag. Of course, besides my sisters from ODRL. Ooh, oh my god, and I can't say Jordan because she is hot. I mean, come on
I
now.
mean, if Jordan's the only one you can come up with, then yeah, you can say Jordan.
Oh my gosh. Who is the tradiest? Hmm. Honestly, Jordan. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm basic. I mean, come on now. The material. Look at the material.
Yes.
Look at the material.
I'm surprised I didn't get up there.
Okay, well, you know, you were close second.
Don't get me wrong, me and Jordan play like this when we see each other all the time. So if asked right now who should go home first, who would you say and why?
Okay, well, I mean, obviously the first and second elimination have already happened. So you want me to say like who I think should have went home, or like who do I think is going home next?
Let's actually make it shadier. Who do you think is going up next?
Okay, well, based on a lot of things that I've seen, that I've heard, that I've taken in, I do think my good sister Karma St. Frost it might be the next to hit it. You know, I know it has been kind of a roller coaster for her preparing for this competition, and you know, as you can see from Untucked, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I would have to say my dear sister, Miss Karma. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I love you, Karma. Interfered.
Don't worry, this interview is not going to come out until May, so she still has time.
Oh, well.
She still has a month left. So, who would you absolutely dread going up against a lip sync battle, and what makes them so fierce?
Oh, two people. Can I say two?
Yeah.
The first one is probably Kalia, Mama. Kalia can lip sync down.
Yes.
She has a God-given talent to lip sync, you know? And bitch, I'm afraid. I'd be afraid to go against her.
I'm
The
I'm I'm
next
definitely afraid of going against my sister, I can tell you that.
the next girl, probably Annie. Honestly, Annie's a really fierce performer. She can dance, she can emote, she can, she's a lot of range in her performance.
Yes.
So honestly, those are my two for different reasons. Because obviously, Clea can twirl and buck and dip and dive, but those are the two.
And that, my spooky fans, was Cox Confessions.
Oh,
So, Roxanne, you survived the heat, but we are just getting started.
oh my gosh, it is so hot in here. Thank God I have my I Am a Cox Fan now available on NichiFans.com. Get you one.
Yes, please do, spooky fans. They're always available to buy.
And a portion of the proceeds do go to me. So they help
You
me
know
with
she's gonna definitely need it for this season too.
Mama. Let me tell you, these first two episodes were not cheap. So please go and buy a fan and support me. Thank you.
Well, now that we survived the flames of Cox Confessions, it's time to take a step back through the underworld portals and take a journey back in time.
Ooh.
So let's uncover the origins of the one, the only Roxanne Cox and how she became the powerhouse designer and drag star we know today. So look, here's where we are. There's little Roxanne sitting at a sewing machine,
Little.
stitching magic into fabric. What a moment. Tell us, were you always this creative as a child, or were you one of those kids with a flair for the dramatic? Or did this passion develop later?
That's a great question. So I've always been super creative, and I didn't pick up sewing until about 2021.
Mhm.
But before that, as a kid, I was always making things, and we didn't have a lot of money growing up, so I would make things out of unconventional materials and cardboard and paper, and I was always very creative, and it was actually something that I was kind of shamed for
Mhm.
by a lot of people, and it almost was a something used against me for being different.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds like a cop out, but mainly because, like, I was kind of a flamboyant child, and it was expected that instead of playing arts and crafts in the house, I was, playing a sport or doing something that is more traditionally masculine. And so I always was kind of ashamed that my interest was not outside, but in the art room. And but no, it kind of blossomed, especially when I found drag.
Mhm.
And sewing came about because, as you know, I am a large woman,
Yes.
an extra large woman, and I knew going into this I was not going to be able to find clothes that fit me at
Mhm.
like Goodwill or a thrift store,
Yeah.
or I had the money to pay designers to make things for me. So I was like, bitch, I'm gonna teach myself. So I bought a sewing machine for like $40 on Facebook Marketplace, and I bought some scrap fabric from Walmart, and I just went to town, and it kind of took off from there. And I found, oh my gosh, this is something that I kind of excel at, and it's only gotten better, every year, every time I make something new, I'm always, pushing it to that next level, trying new things, making it bigger and better. So yeah. And was I dramatic? Yes. Very dramatic, honey.
So, what moments from your childhood stand out as foreshadowing your future as a designer and performer?
Oh my gosh. So I this is a little bit of a funny story. But one time I was really obsessed with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And
Mhm.
I was like 11, and I made a
Wait, which one? Tim Burton, or are we talking about the other
both,
ones?
both. But I made a costume for one of the Oompa Loompas. And I
Ooh.
did a full-fledged lip sync Oompa Loompa performance for my babysitter, who found it hilarious.
Oh.
But that's when I knew. That's when I knew.
Yes.
But no, I've always loved playing dress up. I in preschool I put on. I remember I got in trouble for putting on the Snow White dress. I remember that specifically,
Mhm.
let me dress up. And there was a lot of foreshadowing, playing in my grandma's heels. I called them clip clop shoes because they sounded like clip clops. And, I always was so fascinated with glamour. And
Mhm.
I don't know, I always thought that women's fashion is so much more interesting than men's
Mhm.
fashion. Like, what? Suits and ties? Boring. Give me a
Is
dress.
it is it just me, like, or do you get the same thing? Like, I think our fashion now is like kind of besides, like, if we have to look back at the 80s, they had better fashion, I think.
And I don't know if you can get this from my drag, but my Roxanne is heavily influenced by the 80s and the
Hmm.
60s and those kind of silhouettes and dramatic shoulders and big hair. And, my mom was a child of the 80s, and, she was a big inspiration for my character, her glamour, her beauty. And so I took a lot of seeing those photos of her going to prom with the
Yeah.
big really teased out, 80s hair. It just really kind of was like, oh my God, that is the era that I want Roxanne to be in.
So when did the drag fever hit you? Was there a specific moment like seeing a drag queen perform on Drag Race, or that made you think that was my calling, or what?
So this is gonna sound like a huge basic bitch answer, but I learned about drag from watching Trixie and Katya.
Yes.
I would, Mama. This was in the pandemic, and I started smoking. Well, I don't know if I can say that. I started smoking. Let's just say
Hey,
that.
they don't know if you
We
have a
don't know
card
what
by
I'm
now.
smoking.
They don't know.
And so I would go in the backyard and kind of secretly smoke and watch. And that was kind of like my therapy. And I
Yes.
think they were so funny. And I didn't actually watch Drag Race until later. The first season I ever watched was season 12, and I
Uh,
watched premiere
we
live.
so we watched the fucking same season. That's the season I started on.
And let me tell you, it was like my my third eye opened when I saw
Mhm.
Drag Race. I was like, this is everything that I have been shamed for, that I have been ridiculed for, that I tried to push down inside of me.
Mhm.
Every aspect of that is celebrated on the show. And I was like, this is what I need to do. And so I practiced my makeup for about like a year. I didn't even step outside my house.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to, if I was going to do it, I was going to do it right. And I was going
Mhm.
to come out swinging. But yeah, it was a combination of, funny drag queen videos and drag race that inspired me to put on the tits, put on the wig, and give them a shake. So
I
yeah.
will say, mentioning like you and like Madness could totally do a show like that. Have your own
Yes,
fucking YouTube show and
yes,
just get
yes.
like high as fuck. Like,
Honey,
honestly.
we definitely give those vibes. She is crazy. I'm also crazy in a more maybe a collected way.
You're giving me that like honestly, after getting to know you, you're giving me very Jembo vibes, which I like. 'Cause I can
That
I,
is so crazy that you say that. I don't know. I
hey, and
know
Jembo's a good fucking designer too.
Jimbo. And oh my gosh, something even crazy is, I guess I could say this, but she is my inspiration, my icon, my legend. As you can see, probably a lot of my drag and my drag character is inspired by her. But she actually slid up in my story
Mhm.
because of the oh my god, the FNAF look, the marionette, and I got to talk to her
Yes.
and I confessed my love for her, and it was just so amazing. She is my RuPaul. She is my icon. I love her. I'm so inspired by her. So it's funny you say that because I do really pull a lot from her.
You can tell from the big breast too. Hey, at least they know where you like if you ever pull a look in that bathing suit, I'd be very surprised if you didn't. You remember what look I'm talking about?
Yes, her full silicone bodysuit and just like Jimbo, I love to cruise. Not that kind of cruising, but I love going on cruises. And oh my god, that's like a dream of mine. I want to perform on a cruise in drag, get like one of those
Yes.
drag cruise gigs.
They're always having, I think they're
Yeah.
called Big Gay Cruises, or yeah, I think that's the name.
Mama, sign me up.
So once you graduated, what was your journey like? Did you jump straight into performing and designing, or was there a pivotal moment that launched you into becoming one of Orlando's biggest drag stars?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, biggest drag stars, that's a little much.
I mean, you are getting up there. People
I
are
mean,
starting to
yes,
like mention like Roxanne all the time.
yes, and I do feel like, especially in this last year, I have gotten a lot more recognition. I get recognized in the
Mm,
club, and it's like being a little mini celebrity. Um, but of course, I went to college, and it was during college that I started doing drag. And I my first drag show I ever went to was my then drag mother, Miss Beverly Washington.
mm,
And that's when I was kind of introduced to it. And she, I asked her a bunch of questions. I asked her to be my drag mom, and through my roommate, she kind of, got us together. And so she told me all the things to buy, all the things I need: pads, corset, body shaper, all those things. And so
mhm.
it was seeing drag in person for the first time and going, oh my gosh, I want to do this. And of course, like I said, seeing Drag Race and
Yeah.
all that stuff was like, bitch, do it, try it, you might like it. So
Well, then we get into end drag as we're talking about like your drag mom. Shows and family is everything. Do you let's talk about since you said yes for this one. Who's the drag family behind like Roxanne Cox?
yes, so my drag mother is Miss Beverly Washington.
Mhm.
She's in New York now, but she's my mother. My sister, Miss Jellica Boom, she is down in South Florida turning it. I mean, she's performing every fucking day, turning
Yes.
uh, big social media presence. She's really doing the damn thing. So
Mhm.
that is my immediate drag family. And of course, like I said, my closest sisters here in Orlando are, of course, Thesis Madness, Miss Addie Love, Emerald Titties, who now, of course, is in California. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's my chosen family for sure.
Yes. So, how have you evolved over the years from your first performance to now? What changed?
Oh my gosh, a lot. I obviously my looks, my makeup, all those material things, hair, jewelry, getting the look together. But I do feel like I have really grown as a performer a lot,
Yes.
especially in this past year. I finally feel like these past few months have been, my blossoming era, and
Hmm.
I'm gaining more confidence in my performance ability, because I've been shaded by a lot of girls, for being a look queen, and I've even been told that the stage is not for me. And so to kind of work to prove them wrong, and especially after ODRL these past 2 weeks, it's been like, wow, like finally proving to myself, to my peers, that I can fucking do the damn thing.
That you are that star right there.
Right. And that I'm well rounded, and I can do all the things. Maybe not besides a split. Not yet. I'm still stretching.
Hey,
I've got
not every girl has to be a dancer though.
no, and as you've seen in Orlando Drag Race Live, sometimes doing a split or doing tricks is not going to land you um, a win. But
Especially after what Sassy said last week. She's like, I just want to see you guys tell a story more.
oh my God, some tea, some backstage tea. After the fight in Untucked, the judges came backstage and got us together.
Really?
Yes. Miss Sassy and Tashay came back and gathered the girls. And I wish they got camera mama. But
It's
no,
like that fucking RuPaul moment in All Stars 8 where it's like
literally,
you remember like when Kahanas like tries to leave?
absolutely. That was what it was giving. That is absolutely what it was giving. They came and mothered us for sure.
Yes. So what would you say was your biggest breakthrough moment in the Orlando drag scene?
Ooh. Two. Um, the first one, I think, honestly, night one of ODRL. I mean, that was like, maybe it was more so a breakthrough for me
Hmm.
because it's I deal with a lot of demons,
Yeah.
and it a lot of voices telling me that I am not good enough, or that those voices in the back of my head, those shady bitches saying I couldn't perform.
Hmm.
And to win the performance category and win the night was
Yes.
yes, like bitch, yes. And to hear the crowd go crazy and watching the videos back, watching that double door video is like crack to me.
Mm.
Um, you know, Seeing the reactions and all the love. So that's the first moment. The second moment was when I made a recreation of the pink Marilyn bow dress for
Oh, I remember
National
that
Comedy
one.
Queen for Miss Mikey Meeks. And so that was as far as my sewing kind of moment, that was one of the biggest moments ever, to
Mhm.
have one of my outfits featured on a national platform,
Yes.
and to get to see the feedback and all that stuff. So that was huge.
Well, who were your early inspirations, either in drag or in fashion? Were there queens, designers, or icons that shaped Roxanne?
Absolutely Miss Jimbo, like I talked about. Manila Luzon.
Oh,
I
that's another good
love
one.
I love that she's able to blend camp and glamour so effortlessly, and turn things that you would not expect into glamour.
Mhm.
And so as far as fashion, definitely Jimbo and Manila. Oh my gosh, who else? Um, yeah, those are the two. I mean, I my old answer, like if you asked me like 3 years ago, I would have said Trixie. But
Mhm.
I do think that now, I have kind of evolved and grown, and
Yeah.
she's no longer, the one I look towards.
Hmm.
But no, definitely Jimbo. I mean, Jimbo is like my number one, like all the way, bitch, all the way. So,
I can see those icons for you, and that's the same thing of like when they ask me all the time, they're like, who are your icons? I'm like, I look up mostly to Aquaria and Evie. You can tell from the drag
down,
style of Samara,
down,
so
down, down, for sure.
so the journey isn't always smooth. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced in making a name for yourself, and how did you overcome them?
Well, I'm sure you can also maybe empathize with me here. The
Mhm.
Orlando scene is a tough one. It is a really,
I got a lot
really
of words for that one.
tough scene because, you know, alternative drag is not really appreciated. There are a lot of queens who give the feminine illusion, and
Yes.
who in a lip sync are serving sex and
Mhm.
femininity. And there's not a lot of queens that serve, something that's alternative, horror, or even camp, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just been really hard. It's been really hard. Like I said, a lot of shady comments from showrunners, from sisters, from, people in the community who don't appreciate the kind of drag that we do.
Yeah.
And so it's been tough. It's been tough. And actually, I was kind of talking to one of my sisters about this from ODRL, who was feeling a little bit discouraged. And I told him, like,
Mhm.
hey, it doesn't happen overnight. You have to work. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of showing up. It takes a lot of proving bitches wrong.
I will say this, not only does ODRL open like a lot of doors for you guys to get booked, but I will say my work momentum has shown, and people have been saying this over like the last like year that I have grown. Like that's why I'm gonna give a shout out to Chantel and then Mystery, my older drag sister. That is where those are my places of where I've been able to show my drag, such as Savoy and Mannequins.
Yes. And of course, like I've had people who have supported me from day one. Miss Street is one of those people. Since my first performance at Savoy, she's always been a supporter.
Mhm.
Mother Mary, honey, Miss
Yes.
Mary, has always been there and is a huge supporter of not only Orlando Drag Race Live but drag in general
Mhm.
in the area. So it's been hard. It's been hard, and like I said, I only feel like just now, just recently, I have finally gotten that recognition and that respect
Yeah.
from a lot of people. So it's the Orlando scene is tough. It's tough.
It's tough and a lot of drama, I will say that. Sorry, me and Kalia make fun. Me and Kalia love our drag scene, but we make fun of it all the fucking time.
It's messy. It's messy.
Yes.
Oversaturated at times and messy.
So if you could step through the portal and give young Roxanne some advice, what would you say, and what lessons have you learned that you wish you knew back then?
Embrace your creativity, embrace your femininity, um, because those are going to be character traits of yours that will soon become strengths.
Yeah.
And never be embarrassed for wanting to be different and wanting to show your creativity and art in unconventional ways,
Mhm.
like and it was a rocky road getting to where I am now. Lots of ups and downs, and so I would just say keep pushing. So yeah.
Well, Roxanne, your journey is absolutely inspiring. From creative little kid with a sewing machine and one of Orlando's fiercest queens and designers, you've come such a long way. Now, Roxanne, you didn't walk the runway this season. You dominated it. And every time you stepped out, it was like a whole new queen has arrived. So now it's time to play a little game I like to call The Many Faces of Miss Cox. And here's how it works. I'm going to show you some of the most iconic looks that either you created or you created for someone else. And you're going to give us the drag persona behind the look, not just the name. I want the full fantasy. Who is she? What's their backstory?
Okay.
What sins have they committed? And who's still mad about it?
Oh, okay.
You ready to see it?
Yes.
Let's get into this. We're going to start with you, of course.
Oh, my favorite. Mama. So, this the main thing I really wanted to do in Orlando Drag Race Live is to think outside the box.
Mhm.
And I wanted to show people that I'm not just a campy queen who wears big hair and everything. I have versatility, and so I was actually so close to doing something glamorous for this runway. I was going to do a Mackie
Mhm.
doll recreation. And it was Miss Thesis Madness that talked me out of it. She was like, no, girl, you could do something even better. And so Five Nights at Freddy's, I mean, anybody who grew up in the early 2010s is in some way affected by this franchise.
I love
Good or
FNAF. As you can
bad.
tell, I have the movie poster in the background.
Yes. And so I was actually too scared to play the video games myself.
That's
But
how
I
they're
would,
supposed to be because they're one person in a horror game.
Mama, no, I was so scared. And so I would watch YouTubers play. And so there was one character in particular that always was so intriguing to me. And that, of course, was the marionette and her backstory, very tragic. And I thought about the doll runway and I was like, oh my God, let's do the marionette. And so, I had a bunch of different versions of this. I thought maybe I was going to make a huge box prop that I pop out of, or some version of that, a box I step out. But I was like, you know what? I want to be the box, honey. I want to put the
Yes.
box on. And this look came together a little bit last minute, but I was so proud of it. And the reception, I mean, is incredible. Is incredible. I've had so many people reach out, some drag race girls even, um, you know, looking at this look, and it's just, I mean, it's crazy. I feel like I've gotten a lot of recognition, like from the cosplay community. A lot
Yes.
of people have reached out to me, and so I'm like, damn, am I a cosplay queen? But no, what sins has this character committed? I mean, honey, a lot. She's definitely killed someone. She's probably stuck those fingers in places they don't belong. That mask is hiding a secret. And what's behind that box? You know what I'm saying? Is she hiding a
That
boner? We
part.
don't know. But no, I mean, I'm in love with this look. It's actually sitting over here to my left. And it's gonna be one of those looks I'll have forever.
Yes.
But no.
I
Love.
really loved when you did this one. I was like, this is so fucking sick. And I'm like, the thing is, I'm like, the friends that I was talking to, they're like, I don't get this look. I'm like, then when I showed them Five Nights at Freddy's, they're like, oh, that makes sense now.
Girl, yes.
Okay, let's bring up this one.
Oh, mama. So let me tell you, this, I, again, I was going to do something completely different. I was going to do something maybe a little bit campy and funny. I was going to do Freddy.
Mhm.
And well, thank God I didn't, because P Sparkles was dressed as Freddy. But the process of getting to that performance was so stressful. So many things fell through. I had bought button eye prosthetics that would not adhere to my face. So literally 2 hours before I had to step on stage, I got those button eyes from Amazon. They're like glasses. Um, the fingers were a pain to put on and to use. The outfit, I had a completely different concept for the outfit, but I had to kind of change what I was doing. And this fabric that you see is actually parts of Thesis's costumes that she doesn't wear anymore. And so I went to her house and I cut up some of her outfits and made this for myself.
Really?
Yes, I did.
Look at the
So,
designer at work.
mama, I was like, I gotta get something together now. But no, and the wig was actually made by one of my sisters, Maya Scandal, which you can't see like from the side. It's like this huge, like it's very the other mother. It's got like this pointy side and very sharp. But no, in the end it all turned out, but it was so fucking stressful. And you want to talk about sins, mama? This bitch eats kids. I mean, look at her. She is scary, and she also needs a toothbrush, from what I can see. I don't know what she's eating. Maybe too much.
I remember like Sunset said something about this fucking which she's like, and you literally did buttons from Pussycat. I'm like, so it goes with the
Bitch, what
fucking
the fuck?
theme.
What do you want me to do? Like, that is the one song that I feel like is required.
Yes.
It is required for you to do that song. And if anybody who watched my performance, I really only switched into that campy fun side at the very end. You know,
Hmm.
I was really trying to give horror and spook and creepy, maybe unsuccessfully.
Yeah.
According to the judges, though, I mean, according to the judges, I ate.
Hey, I love this.
Um,
I love this one. So that performance was like everything. I'm like, this is Coraline, and I'm living right now.
right. And unlike some bitches who just literally wore a dress and put blood on it, no tea. Like, I was like, oh, and some of the bitches who were very loud and untucked literally had no concept. They were just a dead bitch. And I'm like, okay, sure. Go off, queen.
Well, let's here this time. I have a video for you. One of your
Oh,
iconic. Do you mind me showing it?
yes, go ahead.
I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all the scars.
Katana in the background.
Today, no one will love you as you are, but I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious.
Attention, please. I'd like to say a few words.
No matter what the fuck, just know you a bad bitch every motherfucking time that you wake up and you look in that motherfucking mirror. All the pretty girls walk like this.
I love this so much.
The category is fitness and
Okay, so do you want to tell us about that?
Yes. Oh my God.
And I'll show them the
So,
full look on the screen too.
Mama, what's poking out down beneath that robe? You see that?
Yeah.
What's going on down there? Oh my gosh. So, Harry Potter was a huge part of my childhood. And of course, there's all this shit with that fucking cunt named J.K. Rowling. And
Yes.
I was like, you know what? Fuck that bitch. I'm gonna do a gay ass Dumbledore, and I'm gonna serve it. And so that was the kind of the concept behind it. Dumbledore embracing his femininity. In a way, it was kind of like parallel to my own journey. And so I was wanted to be silly. I wanted to be stupid. I wanted to make people laugh and to, kind of poke fun at that cunt. And so, that's what I did. And like I said, it was just so incredible because as a comedian, you do
Yes.
not know if your jokes are going to land. You never know. It's always a risk. And to get a laugh at every joke, at every beat, even just me moving and doing stupid things, it's so rewarding and amazing to have, my vision come to life. And what you can't see, and what was not in that recording is, bitch, I did the full abracadabra choreo, honey, as Dumbledore. And to all those bitches who said, I can't move and I can't dance, mama, clock that T. Clock it. Because I did that choreo, honey. And I ate. And so, I don't know, it was such an amazing night. Of course, what happened after was some shadiness.
The
Allegedly.
untucked of them all.
Allegedly. And my very controversial decision on who to save. But no, it was a dream come true. I know by the time this airs, it will have passed, but tomorrow I'm actually doing this number again at oh my gosh, Ice Cream Sunday.
Damn it, I wish I could fucking be there to see it again.
So
Because
yes,
I'm going to Louisville like tomorrow.
no, but it's like one of those numbers that is going to be with me forever and be in my
Yes.
wheelhouse. And no, it was so amazing.
Let's see. What about this one?
Oh my gosh. First of all, I look crazy. Second of all, I was so proud of this look. It's entirely the whole thing, head to toe, made from trash bags. What you can't see is there's a total of 4 zippers on this outfit, 2 on my sleeves, 1 on the back and 1 on the bottom. And this fabric is completely non-stretch. So having to get this to fit the way it did was extremely hard. And as you could probably see from the videos, it was hard to walk in. But we did it. The crown, I got to give credit where credit's due. While I cut out the cardboard, Thesis Madness and her boyfriend actually made the crown itself and added the hot glue. And there's a lot of details into it if you zoom in. But
do you want me to zoom in?
Yeah, you can. It's not necessary, but it was this look is just
Yeah, it's not gonna allow me. Well, there we go. But go on.
But no, it was a pain to get on. I was duct taped in areas I never want to be duct taped again. But no, I love this look. And clock the T that the little earrings are little apples, which I think I mentioned on stage.
Yes.
No, I wanted to go for. I was very inspired by the new Snow White movie and the costuming. And so it was kind of a mix of Roxanne and Gal Gadot's Evil Queen.
Mm-hmm.
So, I love this look. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to wear it again. It's a pain, but no, I was really proud of it.
Well, your final ODRL look I can bring up is your entrance one you were just talking about.
Yes. So, honey, I was trussed up like a pig, mama. I really, and this is one of my favorite looks that I have. I've worn it a shit ton. It's actually sitting over there. No, I really wanted the category for this photo shoot was best drag. And so I
Mhm.
wanted to, take my drag to another level and do something that is me. And my favorite color is purple. Um,
Yes.
no, I love it. The only thing I would change if I had more time is that fucking nude pump. That's the only thing I would change. That
Hey,
ugly
if you ever change, you could probably get bedazzled purple shoes.
mama. That's the one thing I just look barefoot in the wide. But no, I really love this look. So yeah.
Now let's see if I can bring up Cox Couture. Here we go. You
Uh,
ready for this?
I believe it's linked. Okay, period.
You know I have to bring up this one we were just talking about.
Yes, my good sister Addie Love. The category for this was superhero or super queero, I think, and she wanted to do a super rush superhero. So for this design, I was kind of inspired by Elastigirl a little bit, and the color scheme and the choice of fabric really, I think, read really well on stage. Um, I believe it's even stoned, some of it. I
I think
remember.
it's stoned in that like I'm seeing the light like lightning strike.
Yes. But this performance for her was so iconic, and she's my one of my dearest sisters, and so getting to realize her vision was really amazing. But Mama, this was great, and I don't know how this bitch actually, she actually snorts the poppers on stage. I don't know
She
how
does
this.
it all the fucking
I'm
time.
like,
That's what I
how does
love
this
about
bitch?
Addie.
When I sniff a popper, honey, I'm floored. I'm on the ground. I can't move. This bitch is still whipping her hair and throwing her pussy on the ground, and I live, honey.
There
I
was one
live.
performance that she did recently. I don't know if you were there for it, but I think it was Industry Night at Hunger Games where she actually managed to have her whole face full of like it looked like cum, but it was something else.
Oh, was that the Dueling Divas?
No, the Hunger Games.
Oh, well, she did. She's done that a few times.
Yeah.
Covered herself in questionable substances.
Yes.
No, love her and love this look. Love it.
Let's see if I can bring up another one. What about this one?
Oh, okay. Miss Barbie. Oh my gosh, that's back when I was skinny. Jesus, how I've gotten so big. But no, this was honestly, I think I made this look for the Barbie premiere. I went and with my sister Emerald Titties, who did a viewing party. I think it was a few weeks before it actually premiered. And this was just a cute, I love an asymmetrical look. I love sequin, as you can tell. But yeah, I love it. I love it. It's a boot cut.
What sins is this one carrying for you?
What sins? Well, she's a
Yes.
slut, obviously. I mean, come on now. She's been pumped in many places. And oh my God, body. Come on, body. She's giving body. She's giving boo. She's giving hip. She's giving little waist
Yes.
and big bow. She's gorgeous.
I love this look.
Thank you. I do too. I wish I could fit in it still.
Let's bring this one up.
Yeah, so this was for ODRL Snatch Game, where she did Miss Piggy. I actually made her two looks. This was her sit down look for the sit down portion of the Snatch Game. And we wanted to do a slutty Miss Piggy. So I did this very kind of, slid up to the thigh with the boobs out dress, and of course the gloves and the boa. And it's very Miss Piggy. And clock that prosthetic, mama. It is adhered to her face. Gorgeous. But this was one of the highlights for sure.
Yes. Well, that has been the many faces of Miss Cox.
Yes. Ooh.
All right, Roxanne, we've talked about your journey and your creative genius. But now let's shift gears and talk about the hottest competition in Orlando right now, Orlando Drag Race Live.
Yes.
Even though this is an in-person competition, every drag artist needs a standout entrance. And you did it. Can you talk about what went on through not only the promo look, but the Meet the Queens video?
Yeah, so I mean, oh my God, I did the Meet the Queens video very late. As you can see, there's Christmas decorations in the background. And it was posted, I think, in like March or something like that. But I wanted to show these bitches who I am, what I can bring. And like I said, like I talked about earlier, my promo look, I was really wanted to show an elevated version of me. And in my Meet the Queens, I wanted to make words. I want people to get to know me and
Yes.
to see kind of my kooky, crazy, silly side. And so, yeah, I definitely think I made a great first impression. So,
And you did because honestly, that was one of the looks that I did like. And like I told you, I loved your video.
thank you.
So this isn't a TV show with months of editing. This is a live and in person week after week. How do you think performing live changes the dynamic of the competition compared to a film show like RuPaul's Drag Race?
Right. I do think there's a lot less room for graceful editing.
Hmm.
If you're shady, then bitch, you're shady. There's no editing that out.
Yeah.
If you're, if you are like Untucked, for instance, is not edited at all. So, having awareness, but also be yourself, and if you're a cunt, it's going to show, you know. Uh, but I think performing live is something we all do as queens in the Orlando scene. So I wouldn't say that's new.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, if it was filmed, I'm sure it'd be a different experience. I mean,
Mhm.
the gig, for instance, is kind of like a semi-live, semi-filmed kind of thing. But it puts more pressure on you to perform in the moment,
Mhm.
be in the moment, rather than having to wait for months for it to come out and all that stuff.
And having a live audience at every competition night is unique pressure. Are like, how does that make you feel when you get to hear that Orlando audience cheering you on?
It's everything. I need that feedback. I can feed off of the energy in the room, the cheering, the laughing. It's fuel. And
Mhm.
when my first few jokes land, it's fuel to push farther and to be crazy
Yes.
funnier. And so I love the live audience. I mean, I know Drag Race, it's a silent set, and that for me would be like a nightmare. Like, I need the audience, I need the reactions. Excuse me, for sure.
Well, the Orlando drag scene, like we talked about, is known for its tight-knit community, but this is still a competition. When you're in that kind of zone, is it more on like focusing on making friends or actually snatching the crown?
Snatching the crown to a T. I came here to win, honey.
Yes.
I want that money. And so of course, like we make sisters along the way, and I'm close with everybody on the cast.
Mhm.
I definitely have my sisters that I'm closer to, but I've been around. I know what this competition is like. I've been backstage for the past 2 seasons, and especially when there's eliminations and there's a girl going home each week, some compassion needs to be there because we all, put effort into our looks. We
Yes.
all put effort into our performances, and nobody wants to go home. Nobody
Mhm.
wants to, lip sync for their life. So it's tough. But I do think that I'm so grateful to have met some of these queens, and a lot of them I did not know before the promo. So getting a group of sisters and having a group chat, while sometimes very chaotic, is really awesome. So yes.
So you come into the race, guns a-blazing, as we saw with the Universal Studios Performance Challenge and the Dollar Store Runway. Like I said, I was obsessed. But looking back, how did you feel to start the competition with such a bold entrance?
Well, it's what I wanted to do. I wanted to come there and slay. And to be honest, I was not expecting to win that first night. I wanted to go in, I wanted to show what I do. And at the end of the day, I'm there, of course, for the judges, but for the audience. I'm there to entertain. That's what I'm there to do. And I
Yes.
and my mindset going into that performance, I didn't give a fuck what those other queens were doing. I did not give a fuck. I didn't care what they were wearing, what they were performing. I said, you know what, I know what I'm going to do, and I'm going to tear it up.
Yes.
And so that, I mean, I think they might have the video of me winning, but that reaction was so genuine. You know, it was unexpected, and it was just so amazing. But yeah,
And she is standing as one of the front runners right
honey.
now. So so also in that first week, you had the power, but let's talk about this. So let's talk about before I talk about this power, what does it feel to have the power of, well, Katana doesn't call it the beaver like they do in Canada Drag Race, but what does it feel? Do you want to explain where I'm going?
Yes. You know, we all knew this twist was there since the promo. You know, she told us about it.
Well, for the spooky fans that don't know the twist, by the way.
Oh yeah, so the winner of each challenge can choose one girl from the bottom three to save from lip syncing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm on the drama, and Katana loves the drama. And so it's enticing. You know, it's in the moment you want to have that power, but then when you get there and you know you're thinking you're going to save somebody else, and the audience is cheering a different name, and you know, unlike Drag Race, we do not see each other's performances.
Yeah.
And there was a little bit of some of that drama in the last Untucked, is we do not see what is happening on the stage. Maybe some of us see each other's performances, but we only see what happens backstage. And relationships, of course, come into play. And you know, there's a lot that goes into it. A lot of stuff in the group chat. You know, we're very transparent with each other about what we're doing, the progress we've made on our stuff. So, you know, we kind of knew going in, you know, who was unprepared and who was. And so it's tough. And of course, like, to win is great. And then you go up there and you make a choice that not maybe everybody agrees with. And then you feel like the villain, you know, you feel like a bitch. But it's enticing, but it's a double-edged sword.
Yes.
For sure.
Now we talk about power, right?
Oh.
So let's go into a real good question that we saw that everybody's been talking about. In that first week, you had the power and you chose to save my sister, Kalia Cage, while putting Karma and Stigma in the bottom.
Oh.
What went into that decision? And was it strategy, friendship, performance, or something else entirely?
Right. It was a lot. It was a lot of things. So first off, a lot of girls backstage, it's very much like Drag Race. A lot of girls, after everything played out, a lot of girls came up to me and said, if I'm in the bottom, would you save me? And of course, in that moment, I'm not going to be like, no. I'm going to be like, oh, you know, maybe, I don't know, you know. So all three of them asked me. And, you know, I had to basically go off of my gut. And no, this is no shade to Stigma or to Karma, but Kalia, I've gotten to know, and is such a fierce, fierce fucking queen. And I really felt like she had more to show. And from what I've seen, I preferred her runway over theirs.
Yeah.
Because that's really all we saw. And I was actually right before her in the lineup. So I got to see her performance. And I thought it was something different than what everybody else was doing. She was doing a ballad and she served it fiercely. The outfit, girl, that was a chop. Outfit was the boot. But the performance was good. And, you know, I had to make a choice. And so it was a little bit of everything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. There was no shade.
No shade.
And some bitches were like thinking I was being strategic and, you know, trying to eliminate certain girls. But that really wasn't it. It was like,
that's what I was about to say. I have another shady question. If you don't mind me jumping a little bit.
Do it.
I don't know if you can say it, but I think I might be looking at Untucked because I've been watching Drag Race for years. But are you and Madness and Kalia an alliance?
I cannot confirm or deny. I can say this, that Thesis is my closest sister in the competition. And she's my support. She is my, she is my therapist at times. Sometimes almost like my mother. But I do not, I want Thesis to be there at the end with me. And so at the end of the day, she's my ride or die. And a lot of these girls want to play pretend. Like they don't have their besties that they don't want to see go home. And, I'm like, why are we faking this? Be so real. Be so real. And just to say, not even just, it's not just us. Bitch, there's other alliances and cliques, honey, going on. It's literally the Harry clique, the camp clique, and then there's Annie. Annie's just in the middle.
Well, Annie's giving me very miscongeniality right now.
And I told Kalia, I was like, listen, girl, I saved you, but I'm not gonna save you again, bitch. Because I got so much shit for it. And I was like, girl, and I love her to death. I do. But she needs to get her shit together, girl. She needs to get it together. And I know she's such a talented performer that she's able to throw things together last minute and make it work. But for a competition like this, you need to prepare. And
you got to prepare beforehand.
We practice with each other. We give each other feedback. We practice the lip syncs with each other. And so we've been very involved in her preparing her package. And so I told her, I was like, listen, girl, you need to get it together because you're so talented. You're so fun. And you're hilarious. You can perform. You have the resources to get some good looks, honey. But making me look like a fool for saving you, But that's the tea.
Well, the tea has been served.
I'd be hot.
So let's talk week 2. We already saw the dolls runway with the marionette Five Nights at Freddy's look. And then you gave us a full-blown other mother realness in the horror ball. How did your approach bringing such different energies to those two fierce looks?
Well, like I said, it was something that I don't normally do. And so I wanted to push myself out of my comfort zone. And one of the things we talked about when rehearsing our numbers together is not only doing the performance, but what is the character's motivation? What are you trying to convey in each of the songs? What is the character trying to do or to accomplish? And so, finding that rhythm is what I think delivers such a great performance. And one of the things I kind of shot myself in the foot with, especially for my runways, is my runways are so constrictive and really hard to move in. So one of the things, just letting you know, some of the critiques I've gotten from the judges is to bring more character into my runway and to not just wear the outfit, but be the outfit, be the character. And so that's something I'm working on in the future weeks, is the delivery of my runways. But yeah.
Well, we'll see going forward, because we have the next look. Looking ahead, we know Show Me Your Roots runway and the holiday performances are coming up soon.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little sneak peek of what we can expect from Roxanne?
Oh, well, I can't reveal too much. But
this episode is going to be posted even after, so they've already seen it.
So they were already seen it?
Yeah.
All right.
But this episode is posted in May, end of May anyway.
Well, you better not tell anybody.
I got you, lips sealed.
But I'm going to be doing for my runway, I grew up a country girl, and so I'm going to be doing full on a country camp presentation. So not just a runway, but I'm doing a full presentation to really try and give what the judges want and embrace the character. And for my performance, I'm kind of taking a very different route. And I'm going to be telling the true story of Christmas. And I'm going to be the original mother herself, Mother Mary.
Yes.
We don't really know what happened on that fateful night that Jesus was born. So I have my own version of that story that I'm going to be telling to the audience. So fingers crossed.
I cannot wait to see it.
Yes, I will. I will be doing camp for those girls who want to come for me. I will be doing camp, but this night of the 3 so far, is my strongest package. So I am really hyped for it. And who knows?
She might win another challenge.
Us. And I guess since this is going to come out after the fact, I'm going to spill you some tea. So the winner of this challenge will be lip syncing against a secret lip sync assassin for the win. And I actually don't know if the golden beaver or whatever effect is still there. But there are some more twists and turns.
Don't tell me it's gonna be like that Vendela moment where she had to basically be picked between these three and then these three to stay.
Girl. Well, and it's getting tight too. It's top 6 now.
Yeah.
And there are, I think, 4 more nights to go. So I don't know how much I can reveal.
And I'm telling you, Roxanne, I'm gonna tell you now, do not Vendelacrome yourself, please, for the sake of me. Do not pull out a lipstick that says Roxanne on there.
Mama, no, I'm here to win. But there are more twists and turns happening even for Snatch Game, which is the following night. So we'll see what happens there. But no, I'm super excited for night 3. Like I said, I'm very confident in my package. So we'll see what happens. Ooh.
Well, mentioning, we just talked about that one. Okay, so what's the energy like now that the power to save in the hands of a fellow queen instead of the judges? Does it still shift the vibe or serve drama? I'm mentioning Untucked right now.
Oh, it's drama. It's drama 100%. I mean, Lisa's got a taste of it. And, those girls, they're kind of shady because they, in a way, were playing very nice with me.
Mm-hmm.
And they were not really trying to come for me, but they have no problem coming for Thesis. And they have no problem coming for Kalia and coming for blood, but they don't want to try it with me for some reason. I wonder why.
And that's what leads me to my follow-up. It's not on here, but who's giving the villain of the season so far?
I originally said it was me. And who knows, it still might be. So far, who's being the most villainous? Oh. Maybe E or Cinch. I don't know if I call Cinch a villain. She speaks her mind.
That's what I was about to say. Like they're giving Cinch and E are giving me very Raja Manila from season 3 vibes. you do see it?
Yeah, sure. If Manila got eliminated second, then maybe. Bitterness is not cute,
Yes.
And we all signed up for this competition, and you signed up with the knowledge that you might lose and that you might be in the bottom 2. So to be bitter and maybe discredit other people's placements because you're butthurt about it, it just leaves a bad taste in your sister's mouths. It leaves a bad taste in the mouth of the audience. You don't want to be a sore loser, So yeah, they're being kind of villainous, but who knows? I think we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens in the next Untucked video that we get.
Yes, I might have my Untucked moment. I really am. And these bitches are so loud. I can't even get a word in. So
watch her be like just like my drag auntie hiding in closet. Be like,
fuck you. Oh, what about Roxanne? Okay.
Okay, so you've tackled glam, horror, and humor already. What's been the most surprising challenge for you so far, and why?
Definitely the horror. Come on. I was not expecting to be in the top for that. Like I said, I was very nervous. And a lot of things fell through last minute, so that's why I was kind of shitting bricks. But no, to prove to myself that, bitch, I can do horror. I can dance. Well. I can do choreo, I can do it all. So that was definitely the most surprising moment for sure.
So speaking of competitions, I have to ask this question. Have you ever thought about taking your talents to the big stage in LA and RuPaul's Drag Race?
Of course. I think that there is a lot of queens can agree with this. It's a big dream for everybody.
Mhm.
And when I started, maybe that was the goal, but now I just enjoy doing drag, and I enjoy performing. I enjoy showing off my looks. And would it be great? Sure. It's something that I would certainly do,
Yeah.
but it's not the end all be all. I want to dip my toe in some other things. Like I really want to do comedy queen. I really want to do Miss Glamorous.
That's what I was about to say. I could see you doing National Comedy Queen one day.
Absolutely. Who knows? Maybe this coming year I have something planned. But no, and a lot of people have come up to me and said, "Hey, like especially that Dumbledore number, they're like, girl, you need to do that for comedy queen." And it's something that I want to dip my toes in a lot of things. Try pageant.
Yes.
You know, get a little bit more
She's a
experience.
pageant girl is what she's manifesting right now.
I don't know about that. But I want to become a little bit more well-rounded before
Mhm.
considering something like Drag Race, because I don't want to go on Drag Race to be eliminated. I want to go to
That's
win.
where.
So, I want to be able to do all those things.
Well, talking about winning this competition, ODRO, would be huge for your career. What would it mean for you to take home the title, the crown, the money, and how do you plan to use momentum from ODRL to further your drag journey?
Well, I mean, it would mean a lot. It absolutely would. And it is a dream of mine since I started helping out in the previous seasons. Like, bitch, I want to win this. I want to do it. And I want to win. Obviously the money. I mean, I put a lot of effort into my looks, and that's not
Mhm.
cheap, So getting that will cover a few of the nights. A few. But no, to get that recognition, and not even from my peers, but to prove to myself that I can do it.
Yeah.
That would be huge for me. So absolutely.
So Roxanne, I hate to say it, but I do want to know a little bit about Snatch Game. Can you tell me?
Yes, I can. So the gag, the goopery, as I'm sure you all know by now, is that every single one of the girls, including the eliminated contestants, will be participating in the Snatch Game. And the highest scoring eliminated competitor will be returning to the competition, while one queen who's already in the competition will be sashaying away. There will also be, yeah, gag. There will also be another, the winner will lip sync against a secret lip sync assassin, which I don't even know who that is yet. But yeah, and so for Snatch Game, I am doing Rebecca Moore, the Cock Destroyer.
Ooh.
Yes, I am. I'm bringing my girls with me.
Yes.
But I'm really gonna go tits to the wall, and I'm hopefully slay. But Snatch Game is something I'm super excited for. To be on the mic is I feel the most comfortable. And I'm very interested to see how this is going to shake out, because I definitely think my sisters like Annie and Thesis, we're very comfortable on the mic. We're very comfortable telling jokes. And so that's going to be really fun to get to volley with them, and to hopefully make a really funny Snatch Game, because these past two Snatch Games have been bad.
Well, Roxanne, you've had some incredibly, truly defining moments, and not just in your drag career, but in your rise as a designer with Cox Couture. With all that you do, have you ever felt hard on yourself or struggled to balance the pressure of always delivering greatness?
I feel hard all the time. But no, but I do put a lot of pressure on myself, of course, to perform and to show what people expect of me.
Yeah.
Even going back to being, the one to beat, it's a lot of pressure, because everybody's looking at you to slay, and you don't want to have that fumble. But we're all human, and being perfect is not interesting.
Yes.
It's not relatable, so having those ups and downs is natural, and I think that's what it's giving. I mean, I don't plan to have any downs. I haven't bottomed in a long time, and I don't plan to. But I'm hopefully gonna keep this top streak. But yeah, I mean, I'm not putting. Maybe towards the beginning, I was like, it was so everything was accumulating into that first night. But now that I know, okay, the audience gets me, the judges get me, it's like, okay, I can relax. And I can just do me, you know?
Give them the Roxanne fantasy. That's what it's called.
Absolutely, honey.
Yes. So it's time to play another little game.
Oh,
But before I get into this, I want to say it's amazing how you juggle everything with such grace, and I think it shows just how much passion and dedication you pour into your craft. And speaking of your craft, I know you built some sweet bonds with your Orlando Drag Race family. So we're about to open that to the test.
okay. Oh, I'm ready.
So I like to call this game Read Me to Filth.
Oh, okay.
This is your moment to channel your shady side and throw a little playful shade at your fellow queens. Let's
Okay.
see if you're ready to slay the library like the true queen you are.
Yes, I'm ready.
So I'm going to give you a name from the Orlando Drag Race live cast, and I want you to give me your best read. You ready?
Okay, ready.
Cinch Badiati.
You know, Cinch, she's a really skinny bitch. I've rolled blunts fatter than her. The only difference is she's been passed around a little bit more.
Stigma.
Stigma. Listen, we all know Stigma's nuts, but Thesis has actually tasted them.
E.
You know, a lot of girls are going to say that you're shady, that you're not creative, that you're boring as hell, but they're all wrong. You're also a cunt.
Okay, so our favorite, This Is Madness.
Thesis madness. You know, a lot of girls are going to make jokes about her age and how old she is. But I'm not going to do that. In my eyes, she is no more than 22 minutes away from death.
No, that's a good one. Okay, my sister, Kalia Khalil motherfucking Cage.
Kalia motherfucking Cage. I wish someone would lock her in a cage and throw away the key. And then throw that cage in the ocean.
Any day now.
Any day now. Listen, everybody loves Annie. It's really hard to read her. She truly is the heart disease of the season.
And then we have, last but not least, Karma St. Frost.
Karma St. Frost. Listen, there are 5 things I love about Karma. Her back rolls.
Nah. And Roxanne, the library has officially been closed.
Oh, damn it. I just was about to find a good book.
That was absolutely iconic, and I think we all know he's got the sharpest tongue in the room.
Honey, yes.
And please tell me there's going to be a roast or a reading challenge.
Unfortunately, there's not. And I really wish
Damn!
because there's so much material to work with, you know?
Yes.
So many hairy bitches that I just want to shave, you know, take a razor to their face. You know what I'm saying? You got Karma's beard, you have E's mustache, and you have cinched eyebrows. And you know, they're just hairy. And I just want to get them.
Well, Roxanne, what's next for you? We know Orlando Drag Race Live has just been only 2 weeks in, but what else can your fans look forward to?
Oh, well, I mean, stay tuned to my page. I'm doing a lot of exciting things. Of course, I'm performing around Orlando, and not just Orlando Drag Race Live. And
You're
stay
actually
tuned
performing
for,
with Rose tomorrow.
oh my gosh, yes. I wonder if she's gonna be in like boy drag or like, because you know she's doing a lot of like masculine drag recently. So,
Yes.
honey, I don't know. We'll see. And I'm so embarrassed. I'm gonna meet her as Dumbledore. But you know, stay tuned to Cox Couture. There's a lot of exciting things happening in the near future. But yeah.
And Spooky fans, I'll be tagging all of those descriptions, even where you can buy Roxanne's fan over there.
Yes. Oh my God. Look, it even glows in the dark. Oh, so
Check out the description to check out this amazing, iconic queen over here named Roxanne Cox.
it's me, honey.
Well, Roxanne, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for turning it all over Orlando, Florida, and wherever people can find Cox Couture.
Thank you.
And inspiring queens and fans alike. You are an amazing queen. I love you. You're one of my friends, actually. and you do it all so fiercely.
Thank you so much, baby. And I had so much fun. Oh my God.
Yes.
Time to get a drink after this. And a smoke. Maybe take a poop. I don't know. What comes out? I feel so loose.
Well, honestly, as a friend, I'm going to say this. I love you, Roxanne, and thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing your story with us today.
Of
Your
course.
journey, your passion, your creativity are truly inspiring.
Thank you. Oh, wrong way. Sorry.
And to all my spooky fans, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Unholy Encounters. Stay spooky, stay fierce, and for you spooky fans, the finale is on the way.
Yes, it is. Anyways.
And we are out.